Well, good evening. What an absolutely bonkers day. I'm going to be doing a full tale of the tape at 10 p.m. But Sir Keir Starmer might limp on, but today is the day the Labour government died. Today is the day the reputation of all the Labour cabinet died. Keir Starmer was on the brink.
Watch how Keir Starmer faces mounting backlash as furious MPs rise one after another inside the House of Commons, challenging not just his answers, but the very way he responds. What happens when Parliament itself begins to question whether proper answers are being given at all? Following a tense session of Prime Minister's questions, even the Lindsay Hoyle is forced to step in. For many watching, this isn't just procedure. It's about accountability and respect. Before we continue, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Britain Daily. It's completely free and it helps us keep bringing you the hard-hitting stories that matter. Let's watch this explosive clip.
Point of order, Sir Julian Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You have clearly explained that you are not responsible for the quality or lack of it in a minister's answers or even a prime minister's answers. But can you explain for the benefit of the House and the viewing public what Prime Minister's questions is supposed to be about? Namely, that the opposition and other honourable and right honourable members get to ask the Prime Minister a question about a subject of their choice. It is not a matter for him then to berate them for not asking a question about a completely different subject that he wishes had been asked.
Can I just say, a long-standing member that came in with me in 1997 knows that that is not a point of order. Paul Holmes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Further to that point of order, notwithstanding the rulings that you have made in the chair, which I think are always perfect and completely right, can I ask, Mr. Speaker, we are now entering a new period where a Prime Minister answers a question about a subject that wasn't asked and then focuses asking a question on the opposition front bench. So, notwithstanding the ruling that you've just made to my right honourable friend, can you give me the options as to the parliamentary mechanisms and who I can approach to see whether there needs to be reform in the standing orders to actually give you the power to be able to determine what is an answer to a question and what is a completely pathetic...
Can I just say, there is a real weakness in that, because there is an assumption that the person knows the answer. I will leave it at that. Point of order, Sir John Hayes.
Further to the point made by my honourable friend, notwithstanding your ruling, Mr. Speaker, Erskine May makes it clear, does it not? The ministers come to the House to answer questions. And whilst the standing orders may need refining, they already make clear that that is the purpose of the sessions we have daily, and indeed in the case of the Prime Minister weekly. Is it not, Mr. Speaker?
Sir John, can I just say, you're just continuing a debate that I think I've already given the answers to. I think we'll leave it at that. Right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last week, I asked the Secretary of State a very specific question about SEND funding in her statement, which she failed to answer. So I'm going to try again with the Minister today. The £4 billion announced last week to be paid over 3 years for SEND, which the Secretary of State described as new money, is actually from within the department's existing spending review settlement, isn't it?
Minister.
Yes, this is generational reform that will make a huge difference, and we want to work in partnership with colleagues across the House, but we still haven't heard from the party opposite. What are your ideas, or what are their ideas, and what do they...
You're in government, so you don't need to work. Order! Please, I'm trying to be helpful. All these members are trying to get in. It's a big day, there's a big statement coming. Please, when I stand, please. OK. Munira Wilson, Liberal Democrat spokesperson.
Order. Before we come to the urgent question on immigration rules, I should say that time is tight today. There is an important bill to be discussed, as well as the 3 statements that the government has chosen to make. However, I must put on record in the strongest terms my disappointment that the Home Secretary did not come to the House last week to make a statement on immigration. This follows a week of drip-feeding announcements to the media and a major speech outside of this place. It is simply not good enough. If this is the impact of the reported changes to the government comms grid, then it needs a rethink. It is unacceptable for important policy announcements to be made to the media before this House is informed. I call for the statement, Shadow Secretary of State, Chris Phillips.
Thank you. To ask the Home Secretary to make a statement on her recently announced immigration policy. Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I hear very clearly the strong message from the Chair, Madam Deputy Speaker, and of course would never mean any discourtesy to yourself or to your colleagues.
I believe the Minister had a telling off earlier, but I just want to reiterate the problem. The scrapping of the grid may be something of the benefit for government. It is not beneficial to this House. This House doesn't want to be drip-fed 7 days via news. What we should do is come here first and then drip it for 7 days. We've got it the wrong way around. Hopefully the message goes back, no more. Right, we now let the front bench change over.
As a magistrate of 20 years and a chairman of the court for 17 of those years, I hope I have something to offer to this debate. In that 20 years, I was part of a judicial process that saw myself, always with two fellow magistrates, send many defendants to prison. I will never forget the first time I was part of a bench that sent someone to prison. For one individual, one judge, to have the power and to be the only perspective in administering a prison sentence is not justice. Furthermore, a single justice acting alone may come under pressure from politicians not to send defendants to prison due to a lack of prison space available, regardless as to whether that defendant should in fact receive a custodial sentence. There may also be cases where a single justice is more lenient towards defendants of ethnic minorities for fear of being called racist if custodial sentences are frequently given by that judge to those defendants from ethnic minorities, regardless as to the demographics of that court area. With this bill, there is no scrutiny of a judge, no ability to question that judge's decision, no majority vote. A life-changing prison sentence can be given on the judgment of an individual with a single perspective and prejudice without any checks and balances. The state will be administering justice, not the people. Everyone deserves the right to trial by their peers. In this bill, the government is removing trial by jury for serious crimes which attract prison sentences up to 3 years. These could be serious domestic violence incidents, sexual assault, theft, fraud, and so on. This bill is intended to speed up justice and cut court waiting lists, but there is no credible evidence to suggest that this would be achieved under these changes. Courts need investment and to be run more efficiently in order to speed up justice. Solicitors need to be on time and ready for trial. So much of the delay is caused in the process before the case even comes before a jury. These proposals are the exact opposite of justice. These proposals go against the foundations of law and order in this country.
What you've just witnessed is something far more significant than a routine parliamentary exchange. It's a rare moment where frustration spills over and the rules themselves come into question. When multiple MPs stood up to raise concerns, it wasn't just about one answer or one debate. It was about a pattern that they believe is becoming harder to ignore. At the centre of it all is Keir Starmer and the way he responds during Prime Minister's questions. For many MPs, this session is one of the most important tools for holding the Prime Minister accountable. It's supposed to be direct, focused and clear, questions asked, answers given. But as we've just seen, some members feel that's not what's happening. When MPs like Julian Lewis, Paul Holmes and John Hayes raise points of order, it signals something deeper than political disagreement. It reflects a concern that the system itself may not be functioning as intended. And when those concerns are voiced publicly, it resonates far beyond Westminster. Because for people watching at home, this isn't just political theatre. It raises a simple but powerful question. Are leaders being held properly accountable? When a question is asked, should there be a clear answer? Or is it acceptable to shift focus, deflect or counterattack? These are not abstract issues. They go to the heart of trust. Trust that when elected representatives ask questions on behalf of the public, they will receive honest and direct responses. Trust that the system is working for the people, not around them. Even Lindsay Hoyle found himself in a difficult position, reminding members of the limits of his role while also acknowledging the underlying frustration. His intervention highlighted a key tension. The rules of Parliament define what can be enforced, but they don't always guarantee what people expect. And that's where the emotional weight of this moment really hits, because for many viewers this feels familiar. The sense of asking a question and not getting a straight answer, the feeling that important issues are being sidestepped, the frustration of wanting clarity and being left with more questions instead. So now it's your turn to weigh in. Do you think this backlash from MPs is justified? Should there be stronger rules to ensure direct answers in Parliament? Or is this simply part of the cut and thrust of political debate? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your voice matters in shaping this conversation. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Britain Daily. It's completely free and it helps us keep bringing you the most powerful, unfiltered moments from UK politics. Stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll see you in the next one.